Tip number 4, bedtime routines. And I know you've heard this before, I'm sure you have, but they're really, really important. It's not just filler, I promise you that. And again, I'm going to ask you to think about yourself. You get ready for bed every night. That's your routine. I've never met anyone who said, I do no preparation. I just take off my clothes and dive into bed. Nobody does that. And what the importance of this is that it sends a cueing to our body and our brain that night is coming. It's a transition. And it's a really significant one, isn't it? Where we've had all day awake and now we're transitioning into 8 hours or more of nighttime sleep. It's a really big transition. And so our bodies need time to prepare. So you probably wash your face, get your jammies on, brush your teeth, maybe you read a book for a few minutes, or you have a discussion with your partner, and then you lay down and get ready for sleep to come. And this is really important for babies as well. I love a bedtime routine that's about 20 to 30 minutes. I find that if it goes much past 30 minutes, it's too much, too many steps. And now your baby's not able to anticipate what's coming next. They might be pushing into overtiredness now. So now they're getting really cranky. And anything too short, again, isn't enough time. There's not enough preparation time for the body and the brain if it's less than 20 minutes. So here's an example of a great bedtime routine. I love a routine to start with a bath. I think a bath is so significantly different than anything else that's happening in a baby's day that it's a great cue. Hey, every time I have this beautiful bath, I know that sleep is coming, that in the next few steps, we're getting ready for bed. Don't worry if your baby gets excited in the bath. I've never met a baby who relaxes in the bathtub. That's you and I, right? We'd light some candles, we're chilling in the bathtub. That's not a baby. That's not what they're there to do. They're there to have some fun and kind of get rid of that little extra energy that they might have before sleep comes. So about 10 minutes. I wouldn't let it drag on much longer than 10. And a great thing to do with your older kiddos who are protesting is get a little timer. Get some sort of timer that you can set for 10 minutes. And when the timer goes off, it means we have to stop bath and get out. Then it becomes the timer's fault, not yours. It makes that transition easier for your toddler. Obviously, then we want to get into some pajamas, some nice, clean, cozy pajamas. I love story time. I'm a teacher, so stories are really important. You can start story time from day one, and it usually becomes a really favorite piece of the bedtime routine, especially for your child, but also for yourself. It gives you that little cuddle time, in the chair as we read a couple of stories. Again, a tip for the toddlers in the house, pick a number, and 2 is perfect, and stick to it like glue. We never read any less than 2, and we never read any more than 2. And you have to be really black and white with toddlers, because if you give an inch, they're going to push for a mile, and then you find yourself reading 55 stories before bed and having a lot of protest when you say no. So stick with 2 every single night. Now, for our little ones under the age of 1, a feeding is most likely appropriate, right? We want our baby to be nice and full and ready for sleep with a full tummy, making it through the night. Anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, sometimes a little longer for our littler babies. It might take more like 20 minutes to get that full feed in. But you want to make sure that you're sitting in a chair, you're not too comfortable, you've got the lights on, because we don't want to feed this baby to sleep. That's the piece we're really working to change here. But a feed is fine, and it's appropriate for our little ones. And then we can move into some kisses goodnight. Some people like to, find other family members and give kisses goodnight to them. And then we're into the crib, awake and ready for sleep. Now, in some cases, if you've got a really strong feed-sleep association with your little one, that's their primary prop, we might need to move step 4 to step 3 and have the feed and then do stories, just to break it up a little, put a little buffer between the feeding and the sleep so that the child begins to disassociate those 2.